afternoon. This November, we celebrate Children's Month. And as we wrap up, we are ushering another equally important day for the Filipino youth. On the 1st of December is the International World AIDS Day. We made a commitment, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, as a signatory to the political declaration on HIV and AIDS. We pledged to end AIDS by 2030. We made a commitment, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, as important as it is for every Filipino, especially among the young. As a country which experiences the fastest growing HIV epidemic in the Western Pacific region, a country with 411% increase in daily HIV incidence in the last 10 years, we needed a plan and a target. I cannot overemphasize, Mr. Speaker, that the Philippines sort of holds the gold medal when it comes to HIV incidence in the region. And the plan and the target for this is the 7th AIDS Medium-Term Plan. Our target is the 95-95-95, a global target that we have adopted. It aims that by 2030, 95% of people living with HIV know their HIV status, 95% of PLHIVs who know their HIV status are receiving treatment, and 95% of PLHIV on treatment have suppressed their viral load so that their immune system remains strong and the likelihood of their infection being passed on is greatly reduced. Hence the term U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. Subalit as of third quarter of 2024, ayon sa DOH Epidemiology Bureau, ang Pilipinas ay nasa 61, 67, 39 pa lamang. Malayo na ang naabot ng teknolohiya ng HIV prevention and treatment sa mundo, pero bakit nangungulelat pa rin tayo? This is not to say that we have not made progress. This representation belongs to Akbayan Party List. Akbayan championed the enactment of the RPRH law, the Mental Health Act, the Universal Healthcare Act, and together with the Network to Stop AIDS, NSAP, whose member organizations are present with us in the plenary this afternoon, we passed into law Republic Act 11166, or the new HIV and AIDS law. These legislations are important ammunition in our fight to end AIDS by 2030. But apparently, these are not enough. When it comes to implementation, we are still missing a few but very crucial steps, a few but very crucial pieces. According to the latest HIV and AIDS surveillance in the Philippines, of the newly diagnosed people living with HIV, 80% are 15 to 34 years old. Data shows pabata ng pabata ang nagkaka-HIV sa Pilipinas. This confirms the tag youth epidemic na naging pangunahing kampanya natin nung tayo ay commissioner sa National Youth Commission, precisely to call attention to this alarming trend. It is truly frustrating to note not only that we are contributing to the failure of the global campaign to end AIDS, but also, this hurts even more, we are failing the Filipino youth. We are failing a young girl named Anna, who was 15 years old, 7 months pregnant when she was diagnosed with HIV. She was abandoned by her parents and was living on her own at age 11. It took a month before treatment was started before her parents, and they remained in no-show. 2 weeks later, she gave birth. Her baby also is HIV positive. We are failing Trixie, a 17-year-old trans woman living with HIV in Iloilo. Trixie is one of 8 siblings. Despite being diligent students, Trixie needed to stop school simply because her family could no longer afford it. When Trixie started feeling body pains, coughs, and colds, and began spitting and defecating blood, she remained silent for 2 months. She didn't want her parents to know for fear they would disown her. Trixie did not learn anything about HIV in school. She could not get treatment initially on account of her young age. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, sina Ana and Trixie ang mukha ng mga Filipino PLHIV sa Pilipinas sa ngayon. Mga kabataang hindi agad nabigyan ng gamot kahit ito ay nasa batas. Kung nasimulan kaagad si Ana ng treatment, hindi sana magpa-positive sa HIV ang kanyang sanggol. Kung hindi agad nagpagamot si Trixie, lalala ang kanyang kondiksyon. She already had pneumonia at the time. Trixie could have died at 17. Not only was treatment denied to the Filipino youth, but also HIV prevention. Adolescents who are engaged in risky behavior are also not able to access PrEP and PEP, HIV prevention measures that could save their lives. In fact, only 11% reported consistent condom use. Ang rason kung ba't hindi sila gumagamit ng proteksyon, kawalan ng access. Kawalan ng access nitong 61%. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, as we celebrate World AIDS Day on December 1st, 6 days from now, this representation would like to propose 3 urgent measures to fully implement our HIV and AIDS Policy Act and meet our 95 targets. First, focus on the youth. Provide the youth with evidence-based information about HIV and AIDS, coupled with life-affirming and empowering messages, encouraging them to get tested, to enroll in treatment, prioritizing their quality of life and well-being. They should not feel fear and shame about matters that concern their health. Instead, they should be supported all the way. Number 2, invest in prevention. In the HIV and AIDS response, prevention is cure. Adolescents should have access to PrEP, PEP, self-testing, antiretroviral treatment, and all of the HIV and AIDS services available to all PLHIVs and members of key populations. We should be upholding the best interests of the Filipino child in all matters all the time. Third, recognize the intersectionality of their vulnerabilities. These young key populations are also men who have sex with men and trans women. They might also be using drugs, engaged in transactional sex, pregnant women, migrant workers, people deprived of liberty. HIV and AIDS services should be inclusive, especially towards those marginalized. Lahat tayo ay may right to health. Walang lugar ang stigma and discrimination sa isang malusog na lipunan. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the continuing uptick of the HIV incidence in the country is a wake-up call. Not to act out of moral panic, not to instill hopelessness and despair, but to be strategic and compassionate. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, we can achieve our 95 targets. We can end AIDS. We can end this youth epidemic. We can and we should. We owe this to every young Filipino whose life is ahead of them. Let's give them a future they can hope for. Marami pong salamat at mabuhay tayong lahat.